now is interrupted. The power of clarity comes to the rescue. Powerful belief. That's the pride. That's all a real man wants. They don't give a fuck about how they dress, how they look, what they're driving. They don't give a shit. Because why? Your trophies are your family, and they're all walking around. Every man that sees you, they see you walk in with some sweatpants and shit, but they know your family's fucking balling. Because you put the fucking time in, you put the effort in, you put the work in. And as a man, we don't want none of that shit. We just want fucking respect.
Your best work has to come when you're least motivated. Where does that come from? It comes from basically, I had to stop thinking normal. I had to stop thinking normal. I can no longer be a common man walking around doing common things. None of this happened. It was on me. And that's what you have to realize. Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a badass hurts real bad. And that's why I went through it. I have to tell my mind something different. I have to remember my resume, what I've been through, that all of you in here are just as fucked up as me. We post our real life, never on Instagram. We post the life that we want to have out there. That's not me anymore. I'm going to tell you exactly about who I am. That's how you get better. That's how you fix yourself. That's how you grow. I'm going to move on real quick to the very end of my story. You know, I'm not a theorist, people. There's a bunch of people who are theorists who go to the library and study the mind. They study it in a book. I studied it by being a practitioner. I put my mind in hell, and I realized how I was thinking. And I figured out tools and tactics on how to get through it by being in it, not by studying it, by being in it. And literally, that's how I started callousing over. You know, so I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months, and it calloused my hands. It calloused my hands real good to protect my hands against the ball. I started learning how to callous my mind and callous over my victim's mentality. You have no fucking idea how great you really are. Because you are using such minimal of what you have. And if people can learn to focus, this is what's possible. The most frustrating thing in the world for me is when normal people judge a man like myself on what it really takes to extract greatness from nothing. It takes every bit of who you are if you choose that route. If you don't, Merry Christmas, do what you gotta do. But yeah, all these things for me, like I told you, I'm gonna keep it real. There's no fucking hack, bro. There's no fucking hack. Yeah, you make this and that and saunas and all this shit that they, yeah, it's great. There is no fucking life hack. To grow that thing, how do you grow it? Do it. And do it. And do it. And do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck. And that's what I realized. That's what I realized. That's why I want to come on here. I don't want to come on here and talk about no fucking passion and purpose, how to get the fuck out of bed, how to get a fucking alarm clock, all this catchphrase bullshit. Because that's how I live. I woke up like every human being does and goes, fuck, man, I'm a fucking piece of shit today. How the hell is this gonna work out for me? And you fight that. And you fight that. You don't override it. You don't override a button. It's the conversation in your fucking, like, in your head. So how do you do that? We don't have enough of these conversations about the real conversation that every human being is having. And they have no idea how to get out of it. It's you. It's that shit right there, man. There's no other way to make it out here. I mean, you can't just always be, you know, head down in the sand. You learn to pick yourself up on your own. A lot of times these fights, these battles, you gotta be your own fucking coach. You gotta be your own motivator. And you gotta do that sometimes in life. I was like, man, this rest of your life is gonna suck. It is gonna suck. Not because you're gonna be a loser, but because you're gonna fucking finally start to win. And winning is not easy, my friend. This is all me. Some people know, where does this cold man come from? I'm not trying to be cold.
It's the reality of my life. It's the reality of a lot of people's lives. I did it alone. There was no fucking trophy on the fucking wall on the mantle. That trophy's in my fucking brain. No one helped me. No one paid my fucking bills. No one did shit for me. No one ran those fucking mouth, walked that fucking way with me. I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, "That's who I am, man." A very competitive, ultra competitive shit. Take it what you want, man.
I call that personal side.
Exactly.
There's not a lot of people that have that.
That's me. If you know the hell you're going through, it takes a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of pitfalls, a lot of plateaus. You hit so many fucking plateaus, if you don't know how to get around that plateau, it's not gonna happen fast.
Yeah, everybody wants to hack.
Yeah, everybody wants to hack. There's no hack, man. There's no hack. At the end of the year, all you had goals, ambition, a lot of drive, a lot of motivation. Well, it's Easter. It's the middle of April. When I navigate, I put backstops out there to make sure I don't get too far off course. I put those backstops in my personal life to make sure I don't get too far with my goals, my dreams. A lot of you aren't proud of who you are. You don't like the person you created. Do what I did. Start from scratch. Create somebody that's you start showing up to work a little later. You don't look as good. Your clothes aren't fucking laid out. Your breakfast isn't ready. Your mind gets softer. We do that shit every day in life. When New Year's coming up, guess what? Don't have a fucking creamy mind. Repetition every day. Stay hard. We have to always remember our purpose will always be there. I got nothing in front of me right now. No race, no nothing. But the purpose is myself. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. On those bad days, when you think that you're alone, you just might be. Because you know why? No one else wants to fucking do it. So you need a motherfucker that always gets it done. For those of us who are living, we have an obligation to live our lives to the absolute fullest. Life is one big tug of war, and you don't win that tug of war by pushing the fucking rope. You have to pull that motherfucker. And a lot of times you have to pull yourself through life. This morning, I did not want to get up, so I had to pull my ass out of fucking bed. But guess what? The more and more I got into that run, each fucking step in that run, I'm going to gain more and more confidence. But to gain that fucking confidence, you have to fucking be willing to pull yourself out of bed, pull yourself out of a funk, pull yourself out of whatever the fuck life just throwing at you to gain that confidence. By the fucking time the run was over, I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. I once again beat your ass. You gotta be willing to find the confidence. Stay in the fight. Stay in the war. Stay in the battle. Armor your mind. I'm just being a bitch. But I say bitch. It's not to the specific. It's a mindset. In God, it ain't cheap. Soft. Feel sorry for yourself. Get your ass up and raise it up. The one thing about being in dark places, if you have the courage to stay in there long enough, will start to adjust to the darkness. Your body and mind will always adjust to more suffering, to more pain. If you want to push harder, know this. Your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself. No one's gonna fucking come and help you. No one's gonna fucking come and help you. It's fucking me against me, period. And so I had to man up. And I said, first you gotta start doing is facing every fucking fear I have. No matter what the fuck it is, man. And these things will keep me up. And no one, people who are hearing this shit, they will never really understand and grasp when you face these things and so many things, how they keep you up and haunt you at night. I come from hell. I come from hell. And a lot of it I created. Not just society. Yeah, society helped me out. But I created a lot of the hell that I had to go through. I made this picture out to be a lot worse than what it was. It was bad, but I made it out to be, insurmountable. So, yeah, you can be our work enemy. People love to beat you and complain about everything. So when you're sitting there, you may spend weeks, months, years bitching about the same thing. When you're done, you have to have the truth to have a starting point. So when, like, if I'm lying to you about who I am, or I'm lying to you about whatever, there's no starting point. There's a false reality. You have to create the real reality. So that's what I call my accountability mirror in my book. That's the real reality. What am I going to start from? So for me, I was lying to this, lying about that. So I had no starting point. Once you come face to face with who you are, you have a starting point. All right, I'm not real smart. I have no courage. I have no self-esteem. I have no nothing. Nothing. That's my starting point. Now we can move from there. But if I tell myself I'm strong, I have courage, I'm smart, and all these are lies, you continuously push that starting point backwards. So that starting point is the truth. The no bullshit truth that only you can tell yourself. So it's a starting point. Truth is a starting point. The only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and brutal as it is, it changed. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I ended up. It's easy to sit back and say, you know what? People cast mentality. I want to sit back and let the world take care of me. And that's what I'm talking about. Don't play sick too long. While my childhood was so messed up, I played sick way too long, and I almost lost tons of opportunities by playing sick. Because it feels good to play sick. My dad used to shit on me, man. I couldn't read. I can't read. You know? When I was junior high school, I couldn't read. If you lived that life, it feels good for people that, oh, man, you were kind of real smart. You had a bad life. You get a get out of jail free card. That's nice. It sucks doing what I had to do to get here today. That was not fun. That darkness is not, there's just nothing that dark to drive me to the place I had to go to become successful. On the flip side of that, if you come from a silver spoon family, you have to realize that. You have to realize, well, there's people out there like David Dobbins who had nothing. Nothing. And I've had all this opportunity in front of me, and I'm losing. I'm not shit. So what did I say about me? The conversations are very similar. You have all this opportunity, and you've gone nowhere with it. I'm at the bottom of the barrel, and it takes me a lot longer to get where you're at for the starting line to be there. Are you accountable for what you're doing? Are you accountable today? Let's tell people the truth about who you are. And when you can get on and tell someone, like I'm doing right now, exactly how you are, that's the goal in life. To put your life on a billboard, on the busiest road, in the busiest highway in the world, and say, this is how I used to be. Take it away. Who I am and who I say I am. No more lies. No more scriptures. No more bullshit. And that is what every John and Larry is all right. I ain't thinking of it. I actually sat back. I was fat, nasty, out of shape, miserable, and created a human being in my mind that didn't even exist. They said, that's what I want to be. I want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that's capable of doing exactly what I'm doing today. And you have to, if you were born that guy, that mentally strong guy, you have to turn down what you do. You have to be who you are every day of your life and never care about anybody who gets in your way as if you're not doing something the proper way. I was always afraid of people not wanting to accept me. I lied all the time. I wanted to be accepted and loved and all that shit that I created about 50 people. Whatever you like, I like. Just if you be my friend, just be my friend. And that's where we get lost in life. We all have two people. We all have two people. And I'm not saying you're crazy. You got the easy voice which is that 20% telling yourself that you're easy at 90% of my full potential, maybe 100% at that 20%. That's that voice that we all love. That's that very comfortable voice. That's that mom. All you think is going to be okay. Just out of our head completely. And you live over here in this one. So what you have to do first is turn up this voice over here. The voice saying things to you that are nice. That is in our head. That, you know what, man? Dude, you're not doing shit. I'm not saying to put yourself down. I'm saying listen to the truth. And the truth isn't in the 20%. The truth is the other 80% is suffering, pain, failure, self-doubt, darkness, and then a whole bunch of light. But to get to this light, you got to go through all of this shit. So a lot of us know that. We know I can get over here, but over here, man, this is much better. Because I got to go through this journey that's not fun. This from 20 to 100%, this shit in between is not fun. So we decided to look over here. So everybody, how do you do that? We know exactly how to do that. You know exactly. It's not a magic trick. There's nothing I talk about in that book that's a magic trick. It's all back down to a very primitive mindset of what is have to do. It's like reading. Reading becomes normal. Like, you didn't know that we're doing it. That's how you have to live your life. When that alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning, your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical, I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. There's going to be more time to do something that you don't want to do than you are going to want to do. And that's your new norm. That's your new lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. So if you really want it, you realize that trying is, and what trying is not. You know, good enough. That'll work harder. You haven't put enough time in. But that voice you want to run away from. But that voice you don't want to hear. But guess what? If that voice you need to listen to, stay hard. Listen to the whisper. If you're willing to suffer and go back in the grind, that internal dialogue you have with yourself when you're in misery and you're uncomfortable, it's a life isn't fair. We have to understand that. It shouldn't be fair. It's a trial ground, a testing ground. It's supposed to make us harder. It's supposed to make us as strong as we can, to test us, to drive us. So, mentality is the only thing that gets us through life. I was an underdog. We are all underdogs in life. Even the best person will always think that way. So you should always have a never arrived mentality. And the can't hurt the mentality, doesn't matter where you come from, the sewer or wherever you think you're from. When I got out of the sewer, I got to the road and looked around and said, can't hurt myself. I know what pride felt like. And if it took pushing myself to death, I was going to do that. But I wanted to look in that mirror, not impress anybody, not money, not fame, not nothing. I wanted to impress the guy in the daggone mirror. And I worked endlessly and tirelessly to do that. And it happened. One motivation now is that there's over 600,000 people looking at me saying, motherfucking God, there's just someone out there. There's someone out there fucking getting after it. And I am. So you ain't never fucking lying. I'm out there somewhere, yeah, 600,000 people, there's a chance that when you're working out, I don't care if you're in fucking Washington, D.C., and I'm in Nashville, there's a good chance at the same time, we're getting after it. And I want people to know that, and it's the real deal. We are getting after it together. Not no like happy family shit, but we're getting after it. Now that you know about it, I didn't know about it, but think about how much I built. Everything I've ever done in my life, I didn't know. Everything, every day. I'm a lazy piece of shit. And I'm one of the hardest working people that ever stepped on this planet Earth. And I'm saying that very proudly because I know what I do. It's not cocky. I'll tell you I'm stupid. And I'll also tell you the exact opposite of what I've done. It's the truth. It is the truth. So imagine how much I've developed in that time frame. But it's the scary thing. Why most people don't want to do that, build that willpower, is because of this shit. It unlocks a whole bunch of things about who you are and who you're not. And a lot of people don't want to go down that journey to discover who they are and who they're not. Because it's not a free journey. I mean, I've gone down it. It's not like I went down it once. I go down it all the time. And you unlock that, and you can't just turn it off. Like people say, hey, well, how come you haven't retired yet? I built all this willpower. Do you think it's going to let me just retire because my knees hurt? It's telling me every morning. I wake up like, man, my knees hurt. My legs hurt. My body hurts. But you can still run. Why don't you run? If you can still run, there'll be a time when you can't lace them up anymore, but you can still run. So I still run. When the time comes I can't run, the body will say, you just can't run. But if I can still do something, that willpower that I have created, it makes me do it every fucking day. A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut. And all it is a motherfucking dream. You don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become your fucking master. When you become the master of your fucking dream, is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL. And you say, okay, I'm going to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 fucking months. The dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream is now gone. Now, when it comes in, the dream goes away, and the fucking laundry list of fucking details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream. So, a lot of people out there dreaming.
Just being very uncomfortable all the time. It is holding yourself to such a standard that is almost untouchable. You may not have any friends. You may have a jacked up life. Maybe you have a jacked up marriage and your mission. And it's totally mission oriented. It's that guy that's like, okay, let's say we're gonna work out at 5 o'clock, and I'm in charge. So that's what it's all about. It's about, and people say lead by example. It's so easy to say that, man. It's so easy to say that, but you do that every day. To wake up every day miserable, say, I don't want to do this anymore. That's when you know you're a leader. When you're at that point, you're saying to yourself, every night is Groundhog Day. That's when you know you're being a leader, when your life truly is, it sucks. I saw working out as a way for me to build calluses on my mind. I had a callus over the victim's mentality. So I watch these movies. I talked about Rocky last time I was on here. But I always equated training to mental toughness. Like, I was like, people waking up early and doing all these things and looking horrible. I was like, wow, man, I gotta start doing that. Not to get better, bigger, and stronger, but that is what's gonna build it. That looks uncomfortable. That looks brutal. And getting up early, I don't want to do that. So I had this long list of things I don't want to do. And through that, I found myself. I sort of did, I'm like, you guys aren't doing this shit in high school. You guys are getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and running over here in this golf course. So I started seeing myself very differently than the average human being. I was like, hang on a second. I have something they don't have. And that's when I started to develop these things through working out. It was this great, never-ending work ethic. And through work ethic, I developed self-esteem. Something in you has to wake up. And usually the only person that can wake it up is you. You know, this just barely done. I can't light it for you. And that's the harsh reality of this life that I want to get across so fucking bad. You can watch me, you can watch you can watch fucking Rogan and Cameron Hayes, all these motherfuckers. You can go to Tony Robbins' fucking bullshit, all this shit. You know all this shit. If you can keep going back and keep spending money and spending money and spending money with no results, you wonder, wow, maybe let me go try out David Goggins. This isn't gonna fucking help you. You have to explore, examine the insides of yourself. And what do you really want in life? Your friend, a lot of people out here just don't fucking want it. So guess what?
Have fun with your life. Go from 3 to 350 to 400 to 450 to 500 because you don't want it. And that's the harsh reality. I can't give you shit. You can't give me shit. You give me ideas. At the end of the day, when I was losing the weight, I had to miserably wake up every morning cold. It was Indiana, November when it started. I was miserable. This is your new life. Take it or leave it. There's no happiness about it. There's no peace about it. It sucks. It just fucking sucks. And that's the one thing, if I could teach anybody anything, it just fucking sucks.
Hi, Elsa. I know what you're doing.
Look at this little beauty I finally got.
Nice snake, Chris.
Oh, what is that?
Como niyo, Alexa Plus.
That is full on AI. I mean, we're buddy buddies to the next bitch.
And how exactly would I do that, Chris?
I could just be chilling in the pool one day.
I think I'll close the pool cover. You crazy. Your car's here. I'm gonna go. Love you. You seem tense. Can I book you a massage? And a sit-down scrub?
This is Buick now. Buick, exceptional by design. Get 0.9% APR on used Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Well, everybody, it's Groundhog's Day again for David Guys. You panic down here, you see my 3 o'clock in the day. There's not a car or a person inside. You panic over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person inside. You want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places. So right now, this morning, I'm getting it from we got a mother that's we got a car, we got a person. Everybody's in the bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday. I hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Wherever I get weaker, get stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the dag on the couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the practice every dag on.
Yeah, and all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished. That's all I heard of back in those days. You gotta work hard. Gotta work hard. I'm not getting how I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military. Read again. Should I get it? Read again. But if not getting it, write it out. And that's how I started learning. Okay, well, I gotta write out everything I do. And then write it out again. And write it out again. And guess what happened? I got it. I can't swim. I'm negative buoyant. Go back again. I can't swim. Go back again. Go back again. Go back again. I got it. We're gonna figure it out, by the way, because he is not going to stop. It's not, I'm gonna tell him one more time. No, you get every morning at 4 o'clock, you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore. When I was in the Navy SEAL training school, how were you there for 18 months? The program was only 6 months long. You were in 3 codes in 1 year. No one's ever done that. How did you do that? I talked about the new norm. When I lived in a $7 a month place and I was growing up for a short period of time, I loved it. I really did. That was my norm. Once we moved out of that place, we moved to a $236 a month place. I was like, shit, I never want to go back to that little piece of shit. But if you go back to that $7 a month place, and you realize this is what I live, this is all I got. Your mind says, Roger that, this is home.
So when I was going in the first time, I knew it was gonna be a long journey there. My body was breaking down. It was just how it was going on. I said, you know what, this is not me doing. So my mind said, it's like going to work. Like you go to work, you put your suit and tie on, I go into suffering every day. Every day, suffering, being broken, duct taping my
Where's
feet up,
the noodles
dress
you bought
fractures,
yesterday?
shin splints, being broken.
Somewhere.
This is not me anymore.
Somewhere?
And your
On
mind
top,
says,
probably
we're
behind
not
yourself.
broken. This ain't normal. We gotta be broken. So then your mind starts to get tougher and tougher and more tough. How'd you get on broken feet? Broken shins. My mind knew this is how we operate. We're in Navy SEAL training. This is what we are. I became hell. But for a short period of time, I became the devil because that was hell. I became the boss, the owner, the CEO of Navy SEAL training. That was my mindset. And that's how you get through things. You put yourself, you immerse yourself wherever it is, you become that. You become that. You give yourself no way out. I went through training, 100-mile race, 200-mile race, 200 race, all on the mind. It wasn't a physical thing I had. I was broken, literally broken at the start line of everything I did, including Navy SEAL training, Ranger school, everything I did in the military, I was. But I didn't sit back and say, hey man, so no one knew. I realized how the brain works. I figured out how the brain works. I'm a serious kid, and that's what gives me so much power. I had no foundation, and I built this off of just researching the mind. The feeling you get is basically invincibility. You realize that you can't do it all the time. When you need to do it, I know I can go to a place that I can live in. And you know that you can run on broken legs. And you can do certain things that a lot of people can do, but they're not willing to do. This power, this sympathetic nervous system of fight or flight, and you're fighting. It gives you this charge of energy. But when you're sitting there at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're duct taping your feet up because you're broken, and you're doing it by yourself, and you're going through arguably one of the hardest training in the world, and these guys, most of them are healthy, and you're going through it broken, and you're already at a disadvantage, and you're still there, the biggest key to success in anything you do is you gotta have an unlimited supply of fucking this drive and passion. It may come from nothing. Like for me, there was no passion, no drive, no nothing. But I had this fight that I'm your coach, your own trainer, you own everything. And I had so many bad days in my life. So many bad days from growing up, even now. Well, nobody fucking there but David Chavez. God was there. But God said, hey, motherfucker, I'm testing you today. Now I'm going to test you tomorrow. Now I'm going to test you again. I'm going to let you alone, man. Pray all the fuck you want. Pray. Get on your knees, boy, pray. I'm going to still kick your ass.
The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. You wake up with it, you walk around with it, you go to bed with it. Eventually you act on it, whether it be good or bad.
What I found out is that with no crowds, no one cheering for you, no races, no finish line, it's an amazing thing I learned in my mind. Like no one cheering you on. Like what that is every morning I do what I do, I don't have a trainer waking me up. There's no one saying, David, you have to do this. I don't have to do anything anymore. I've done it. That's the beauty of all this. Knowing that everything I talk about, knowing real, scary, unfiltered, no line dialogue between you and yourself. And people know exactly what I'm talking about when you're in a bad spot in life and your mind is saying all kinds of shit. That's who you really are. That's the real you. That's where the growth happens. When you're able to stay in that moment and talk to yourself back into the suck, of whatever you're going through, and you start stripping those layers away. But as you're stripping those layers away, you're building calluses over top of shit in your mind. That's where the growth starts to happen. Is when you have to force yourself to stay in it. You can't leave it.
It don't take you years old. Okay? I'll be 51 in February. When you live this many years, what happens is it takes about a good 10 years of people telling you and you're experiencing how life is. The highs and the lows of life. I can pack that mother in 80-some hours, and I can get, so the knowledge comes from the experience, not the race. All I've done with these races is I condense 10 years into 80-some hours. That makes sense? Yeah. Are you sure it makes sense? Yeah. The highs and lows you experience in a race like this, man, it gives you a lifetime of knowledge. And people get it all, they don't understand it. And that's fine. But these people aren't trying to bring the race. Some are. These people are trying to find themselves. And the answers they get on the other side of this journey, they can only get by doing some shit like this. Suffering, my friend. Suffering. I'm not talking about you have to go through cancer. But I guarantee one thing, man. I bet you're a better mother. Mentally, if you look at it the right way, everything I went through in my life, every bad thing I went through in my life, the 2 heart surgeries, all the name calling, everything I went through. If you learn how to flip that mother on top of his head, and say, hang on, there's so much power in this thing. If you look at life as it is a trial ground, a testing ground for where you need to belong, where you need to go, it's your mind. If you look at it as suffering, woe is me, this is bullshit, God, kicking rocks. If you look at it like, okay, I'm testing it now. I get it. Whenever I'm being like depressed, I go through depression, I'm like, oh, hang on. I'm getting tested. You have to be aware of all the signals and signs that are being given from the world. One of them is if you feel bad, you're being tested. How are you going to perform under that? And that's something upon life. All this came from here. It came from me putting myself on the hot seat. And then saying, okay, wow. Okay, 297, this is where my mind was at. To get to 187, this is where my mind went to go through 3 hell weeks, to run 405 miles, to do 4,034. And I'm a natural born fat guy. You know, I was born 175. I gained 125 pounds. I was lazy. That's who I am. I'm not going to sit back, watch TV, and eat pizza. Like everybody. That's the mama boy. It's for like that, like me. I love my mom, but she was working. All I crave is that mama voice. Please, love David. Love David. That voice got me 297 pounds. Whatever I wanted, I did it. And that's where I started seeing myself further and further away from my true self. And your true self is found, honestly, in that very uncomfortable zone. Know what the fuck I'm doing every day. And I know that I am grinding like a motherfucker.
Keep talking. You've got these problems, right?
I need you to keep talking about what you were just saying.
It's warm on the couch. Your missus says stay in bed. It's comfy, it's cozy. You've got work later on. You had an argument last night. The cycle's over.
I know every motherfucker ain't gonna do something. This is how you love it all. That's how you love it all. I know there's a whole bunch of people with that right there. That fires me up. That makes me fucking happy that you just said. I didn't have a motherfucker come wake me up at 3 o'clock this fucking morning and say, hey, you gotta do shit. I had no trainer. I didn't have a nutritionist. It was the self-discipline that I had to survive. To not survive, but to thrive. We all think about fitness, it's hard. But what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information with pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times.
21, yeah, get it in. Oh, you want to kick it? Good, 22. Who's going to carry the boat in the ball? That's you, buddy. Come on, 23. Come on, 24. One more, David. One more. The boats. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You did it. Yeah.
I know what darkness looks like. I know what it feels like to be alone with no motivation, no drive, no passion. And what has to come out of your fucking soul in the darkest of times is what you just did right there.
How did you stop feeling sorry for yourself? When you really sit back at your life and you're in that dark room and you're looking at where you started and you tell yourself, ah, dog, man, my mom is this way, my stupid stepdad got murdered, my dad beat the shit out of me, I can't. So there's tricks to all this crap in life. I was wondering, hey, man, one trick in this situation is try to work around. So when I did have a couple of things. You know, sometimes that mediocrity think that you're giving into it. So I said, you know what, instead of going for a 20-miler, so go out for an easy 6 or 7. What that did in my brain, I said, okay, maybe I can find one. So let loose a little bit and let go of that, oh, this is going to suck. This could be okay, it's not too bad. Instead of just getting my own view, that's what happens. Greatness, pull the mediocrity in the fucking mud. Get off here and get out there.
And guess what? I promise I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I ain't got no that's where the shit comes from. I ain't got nobody to reach this level. That's my darkness. That's why I'm happy to go for speaking fucking on me. You think you don't be coming to my dungeon? It's a lonely dungeon because you're going through shit, bro. Every day. Drink this hard by yourself. Come on, man. And this is you really exactly. So imagine the real I go through.
Fluffy, golden, delicious. Just the way your kids love them.
Oh, I did it. I don't know something about
How y'all doing, Zoe?
Where you going, bro?
Hard time. And don't bust it on the floor, whatever it is.
What do you want to do with you? A harmless man is not a good man. A good man is a very, very dangerous man who has that under volunteer control.
You have to have no fear. You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do. And just go for it.
What you need is the one thing I talked in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
Might be rumbling in the best. I want to make a difference. Everything I do, I want to make a difference. When I make a difference, I'm stressed. That is not there. That is confidence. There's human beings that have different temperament and different minds, and different mentality, and a ruthless, competitive drive that's almost terrifying to the ordinary person.
You gotta work. Your time is gonna happen. You're here for a reason. But you gotta be ready, because if you're not, it's on.
But once I learned that the difference between him and I was just between the years, once I was equipped with that, I started to believe that the sky was truly the limit for me. And I'm still that person today.
Pain motivates significantly faster and stronger than pleasure. Like people are like, no, passion is the right way. It's like point a gun at a family member. All of a sudden, 10 out of 10 motivation. Pain.
It's not a bad thing to be unique. It's not a bad thing to be different. It's not a bad thing to be comfortable with yourself, regardless of what everybody else does.
But know that if you have big goals, big dreams, along the way, failure is going to happen. So how do you get from that?
People
either survive in the jungle or exist in the zoo. Few recognize the significance of the paradoxical reconciliation of the two.
Greatness is not meant for a few chosen people. It's meant for those who persistently pursue their dreams every day and make that choice when you wake up. So, just a mentality.
Nothing is easy. Like running is running. It sucks, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes.
When your excuses make you feel a little bit better about the fact that you
Fighting myself. It is so easy to beat people today. They're so soft. They have no work ethic. They don't stick with anything. I'm distracted. They're social media. They have notifications. Because they can't say no. Everybody's great when they're not tired. Champions is when they're tired. That's when the real champions come out. That's when the real dogs come out. Because if you don't piss like a puppy, stay on the court. Let the strength on the feet. Let them all feel. That's some horse.
I never break it for many things, and that's why it's supposed to. Always had to let them go. Homie be me. Ain't nobody sitting on straight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I've always been in a situation where I'm forced to deal with myself. So, when you're going through something really challenging, how do you show up with it? Do you choose to become a victim of complaining and misery, or do you find meaning in how you show up for the suffering?
I give you the map. John willing to do that? Yeah. It's the main point, because everyone wants to be Cristiano, but I give you the map. You think you will do it then? It's difficult. The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in sport, but in life.
if you have to ask how to get motivated to go to the gym, you don't need to go to the gym. You don't want to. When you're sick and tired of looking foolish, you'll show up. I'll see you there. Because you're going to look in the mirror and you're like, fuck that. You got to want to be in the gym.
The problems in your life are your own downfall. And so the answer to fixing the problems in your life are your own downfall. The responsibility for the well-being of your family, your wife, your husband, your children are yours. Are yours.
Look at all those people down there. They follow the rules for what? They're letting fear lead them. What happens if I don't? Life's simple. You make choices and you don't look back.
Y'all know when I had this weight, do not come in here at all.
To try to win. There's really no point.
I did it.
That's the attitude I've had my entire life, and that's the attitude I've always had. I had always explained my dad's second sucks, the thirds are the worst. It's just a feeling I'm sure that's not too bad sometimes. That's not too bad, but I want to win. That's just my nature.
You're not even motivated yourself. Like, I want to wake you up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Come on, I'll go on running. Like, I want to see what you do when you're tired. Let's see how you push yourself. Come on, man. Get up. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. Get up again tomorrow. The next day. Get up. Get up. Get up. Get up. Keep going. How long can you maintain a positive attitude? Where's all this teaching? You're teaching people. You can't do shit yourself. You need to show people.
The thing is, I don't give up. I don't give a what anybody says or what anybody thinks. I have this mindset. I know exactly who the fuck I am. I have my circle of people that I hang around with who know me and know what I'm about and whatever. And anybody else who doesn't like it or doesn't want it, okay.
The bad days create the story that I'm one day going to tell myself about what I got through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without the bad days, the story would be pretty mush, grey, like existence.
Yeah.
Keep moving, baby. Keep moving, I know. Listen. People been booing me about me since I started training. I love it. The more you boo me, the stronger I get. I'm used to this. No can't stop me. Keep it up, baby. Keep it up, you
great nowadays, my friend. Most people are weak. Most people don't want to go the extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra because it sucks. It's miserable. It's lonely. You talk about that you were kind of, lonely by yourself. I was the same way. Yeah, that used to hurt me growing up. Now I vibe in that shit. That's the only place to be.
Listen, every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the fucking face, man. Could be anything. Could be you get up and you walk downstairs, you have a flat tire. You can't curl up into a ball. You can't run away from it. You can't hide. You have to take all this head on. You have to get up every day. When I get up out of bed, I stress.
That's a lesson that people need to hear and learn. It's so important because everybody just wants to be comfortable. Everybody wants to sit like, I don't want to go outside, it's cold. I don't want to do this, it's hot. Like, you've got to do things that you don't want to do because you show your body that your mind is the boss. Your mind is telling your body what to do, and then you have control.
It's not that simple.
Why not?
No, that's the biggest lie I was ever told. Tell you to give up. They say it's not that simple, man.
So what's the truth?
That it is. And you realize it is that simple. I know it was.
If you're just you've chosen whatever it's you give it your all. Win, lose, draw, get what you want, don't do what you want, whatever the outcome is. If you don't have that, at least you're not gonna have to wonder. Wondering that.
I'm tired. I'm moving in so much. But I can sit in the gym and dumbbell press 150-pound dumbbells. How does that translate? My mind doesn't think it's do it. I'm severely underestimating my strength that I can't think of again. But when I get to the gym, I need to overpower my mind and just do it. I need to understand that I still have the muscle, I still have the strength, and I need to pick up that weight and do it and overpower it. And sometimes you're getting in there and you're overthinking and all these things come into it. Yeah, sometimes overthinking takes you back.
If you don't keep your promise, then what are you really? Your promise, your word is your reputation, and your reputation precedes you anywhere you go. Sadly, these days, everyone's so willing, so quick to break promises and to ghost people and to, but I'm telling you right now, a man who can keep his promises, who can keep his word, is a man of higher reputation, higher value, and higher self-worth, right? If you have like self-esteem and self-confidence problems, it's because you probably haven't been keeping promises to yourself. A man who has high confidence keeps promises that he makes to himself and to others.
I became obsessed with being the best that God ever created. Am I that? I don't care. I believe it. Now I'm trying to tell them, once you become obsessed with something, obsessed, it's okay to be unbalanced for a while. It's okay. Don't think all this stuff people say, you gotta be balanced. Be the best in the world at what you do. It's about being a Navy SEAL, people. The best at what you do, you have to be unbalanced to find every bit of energy and strength that you have to pull it off. Then you get balanced once you become great.
Remember to tell yourself the truth. Remember to tell yourself the truth. You know what that means. The truth is, you need to do more. The truth is, you need to be more to reach your fullest, maximum capacity and capability as a human being. And if you tell yourself that truth,
You'll be less than, you'll be a loser. I can't believe it. You walk on stage. No, you won. Imagine walking out the door a loser. I would have died. I would rather die than be that loser guy. Think about that. You want to walk out the door a damn loser, then walk out the door a winner. No, I'll fight to the death.
sometimes like if you went post-death, it sounds crazy. You gotta give it that much. If you want results, otherwise you're like everybody else. The majority of the population is
Because of the outcome as the trump card, then all of the pain and suffering that you need up to that point, if you're just, I'm trying to think of an appropriate to say, I was gonna say balls deep certain, that no matter what, you will die or you will get there. Then the likelihood that all of the things that you've done up to that point will then be justified in retrospect is super high. And I actually see that as super compelling as a thing to latch onto in harder times.
Those I can't catch a break guys. Yeah. Get them away from me. I can't be around those guys. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't buy it. Because everybody has bad breaks. Yeah. I've had a ton of bad breaks. But you know what I did? I stayed up. Yeah. And I thought